All right, we're live again. So we come back yesterday. So here we are. Hopefully the algorithm in YouTube doesn't actually make this one stutter like it did yesterday. But yeah, we just jumped on. I think it took like four or five different times trying to get that live going. Just talking about Valentine's Day and the aftermath of that. But got a few things that, again, I just want to get more in the habit of doing more of these and um, trying to get a little more feedback. We got merch up on the site. Just some t-shirts, hoodies. I think we all like hoodies. Some stuff for your girl to come over and steal, so you won't miss too much. But yeah, it was always a thing I wanted to do, and just created it. Took a little bit of the afternoon to design some logos, get some of that stuff out there. But outside of that, there was a couple things that I was going over and prepping videos for tomorrow. And one of the topics, and there's a multitude of topics, probably enough for a decent live stream. But I wanted to highlight a few of those. One of those being something just completely, I think, absolutely silly. When at a top tier man is just an average woman, you see a lot of that just kind of going back and forth, almost as if this is just a game. This is what it's supposed to be. But realistically, I think we got to start asking ourselves some actual questions. Right? Being realistic with one another in saying that, no, I got the video. We'll go over it in a sec. Just want to see if everything is working on the stream. See if anyone comes in. If you can actually hear me. If or I need to switch to my phone, but if that's the case, me and you two, we're gonna have an issue. Right? We're gonna have a much bigger issue at hand. So let me know if you do get this. If you are in there, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. If everything sounds all right, jump in the chat just so I know it's real, and then we can get this thing on the road. Anyway, in like the stream, subscribing to the channel. Um, those things will really make a difference for YouTube. All right, you can hear me. Let me know. Just a quick thumbs up. And then, yeah, like I said, we'll get this little show on the road. Won't keep you all up too late. Those of you on this Midwest coast. Yeah, you're the absolutely first one to comment. Shout out to you. So yeah, if you can hear me, thumbs up. Appreciate you. So yeah, when I was coming across a comment, content where it's always saying that um top tier men are just average women, and you either hear it in the sense of emotionally we don't do these things while doing everything else under the world. I think what happened is we dropped the bottom out, right? We took what was great and we called it good, and then we took what was good and we called it, subpar. But all the while, we allow people to kind of just exist in this delusion, like, yo, you just dope by yourself. Whatever you do, no one can tell you anything wrong. But that doesn't really help women get better. If the idea was for equality to bring up both people to make us equal, doing it like that it really doesn't help at all. And I'll show you exactly what I mean with this clip I got.
A top tier man is your everyday average woman. Most women do not have a criminal record. Most women have their own car, crib, and career. So as a man, when you have those things, you're top tier because your counterparts are doing so bad.
So right there, right? That most men don't have a criminal record. Right? It feels good to say that, but that's really not the case. Most men don't have a criminal record. Right? And if you're using that as the rubric, then you're already lost. The math already doesn't make any sense.
That when you as a man do exactly what the average woman is doing.
Yeah, I've got some mods, but sometimes I'll jump on randomly and late, and so they might not be here. If you're interested in being a mod, let me know. We can sit there and chop it up and talk about it. Hopefully you first subscribe to the channel. And if you are just joining us, again, we're here to grow the channel. So hit that like button, just so the algorithm knows that, we're here, we're existing. It's a small channel, but we got hopes of grandeur in the future. So subscribe. That's what we're going to try to do here.
Yeah, and don't prioritize fitness. And you handsome and you taking care of yourself. Oh no, don't mess around and prioritize that. Yeah. So I just wanted to say that most women don't have criminal records. Most women aren't living off of men.
Yeah, even if you're saying most women don't have criminal records, most men don't have criminal records. The majority of us are just kind of get about and do what we got to do. Listen, in terms of making your mod, listen, hit the description, send me an email, and we can have like a back and forth, and I can tell you exactly what I need from you going forward. We do bigger lives, more like a show, like a production once a week. We just had one yesterday. They're fun. They're still like a small little audience, but I think it's fun. People laugh. We have a good time. It's not so serious, but we talk about serious topics. But like I said, email me, and then we can talk about it. We're having back and forth, and then you can join the list of moderators. Like I said, it's really helpful. Appreciate you guys. So when we're comparing, apples to pineapples at this point, where you're saying, well, most women don't have a criminal record, but most men do. All right, when you start with false data, then where are we supposed to lead? We can't have a real, interaction. Just a reminder, I'm gonna keep saying it. You guys new here, like and subscribe.
Most women are independent. I have counseled so many women who are going through traumatic heartbreak off of a man she moved into her house, who drive her car. Sis, don't you know he wouldn't even be with you if he had his own car, crib, and career? Nobody falls in love as fast in a homeless man. As a top tier man, you just got to be like an average woman.
Again, right? This is what we're talking about. This is not top tier, right? You're talking about your women. You get to call themselves top tier by doing some very average things, right? You got a home, you got a house, right? Cool, right? I'm proud of you. Right? You got a car, I'm proud of you. But why are you dealing with bums then? Right? Why is it that bums become the thing?
Be independent. Get your own money. Don't lean and depend on a woman. Ladies, when you meet a good man who is independent, who don't need you for nothing, you got to understand that type of man is rare. You got to respect that man. Now, don't be nobody fool now. Don't be nobody fool. But, you need to vet him, have discernment. But ladies, let me know in the comments. The man who broke your heart, did he move into your crib or you moved into his? Come on, let's spare the next generation. The man that traumatized you, because broke men are angry men. That's why you don't.
Listen, if you're talking about comparing yourself to a top tier man, and you're talking about you moved the man into your house, that's not top tier. That's not. Right? You're doing things like a man does, right? He usually gets the house or the apartment, and then she moves into his place. But none of those things make you top tier. So if she's standing on business saying like, yo, I'm teaching the next generation, this is the way it is, then we've got a real problem. It's a blind leading the blind, right? It's you don't understand how this is actually supposed to work. So what happens? You go around and you say something like this, and everyone else ends up kind of just messed up. If you don't understand what men are worth and what their value is, because it's easier to tear them down than to pretend like that what they're doing is exceptional. I get it. It's easier to make someone seem like they're not exceptional, like they're not important. Therefore, if they're not important, then what you're doing in your regular life, it makes you feel better about yourself. And since we kind of have the society, it doesn't tell people the truth. It doesn't tell people, yeah, man, you kind of average, right? And again, we're not shooting down people, calling down like that being average is terrible. But we want to have a clear understanding that an average, if you want to have an above average life, you have to do above average things. You got to do exceptional things to have an exceptional life. Outside of that, it doesn't really happen. And again, anyone new jumping in, jumping out, um, like the chat, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, share the video. Again, we're trying to do more lives. We're trying to have more community engagement. We just made some merch, trying to grow this channel, and I'm trying to do my part with more content. If you're new here, we drop 2 videos a day, 2 shorts a day, and then just sporadically we'll do these lives sometimes. Um, as I get a little more free time, I'm trying to do more of these, but we always schedule a big live once a week, and we're trying to find a good time that resonates with more of the subscribers on the channel. Make it almost like a reward for being here. But to the topic, I see so much of this, so much of the stuff talking about just kind of downing men, just straight out like misandry, making it seem as if it's their problem. It's somehow men have to the ones that kind of broke Humpty Dumpty and responsible put it back together. But we never take the time to say, shit, what are you doing wrong? Right? Like, do you ever do anything wrong? Do you ever contribute to how this is supposed to be working? If we're all in a dating pool together, why is it just one party that's supposed to fix it? Why is it just incumbent on one party to be the ones that sort of make this thing work? We understand that, and this is the biggest thing you got to understand, right? And I think most people get it. Women are human, right? That's not an inflammatory statement to say. Women are human. That means that you do things that sometimes are self-serving. That women cheat just like men cheat. Sometimes you put yourself ahead of others. You don't always tell the truth. That's all right. That's part of human condition. Not going to take that away from anyone. This is what we do. This is part of who we are. Not doesn't make you an evil person. Doesn't make you a bad person. Just makes you real. This is the game. This is how we are. Right. So outside of that, it's fine. It's fine. Don't take anything away from you. Doesn't make you an evil person. All right, yeah. So outside of that, give people the grace to just kind of be and understand this is a very normal thing. It's how people are. Sometimes you don't tell the truth. Sometimes you do the wrong things, but doesn't mean you're not undeserving of sort of love and forgiveness and grace. Just the same way we expect those things, we hope for those things as men. Women can hope for those things, but while we're pretending, I appreciate you, Matt. I'll check it after this live, and then I'll post. I'll get ready to post what I need to post for the next day for tomorrow's content, and then I'll get back to you on that. Again, if you're new here, like, subscribe to the channel. I think lives are a great way to connect, to build, rather than you kind of seeing content and just hope someone kind of replies in the comment section. I try to be active in my channel's comment section. Um, but as the channel grows, it becomes kind of harder and harder to do that. So outside of that, right, the looking at men as if they ain't shit becomes so popular online that we just think this is the way it's supposed to be. But honestly, I think most of us in the very real world, we don't think about it like that. I think we're happy to know each other. We're happy to get along with one another. And even that 50-50 conversation, we make it seem as if it's an impossibility. Most of us don't make enough to afford our lifestyle and someone else's at the same time. It's just not real. Right? I think 72%. How many? How many people make actually over 100 grand? I think it's something like 27%. 27% of people in the United States make that much. Let's stop and be real for just half a second. Just half a second. It's impossible for you to believe that that next dude is going to somehow pay for you, pay for your entire lifestyle, so you can chill at home. No. Let's let's be fair. Let's be realistic. That's not how this any of this actually goes. We can stop pretending like it is. If we do that, we're probably in a better spot. Probably have a better spot, better understanding of how this stuff is actually supposed to go. It's going to take two of us to make this stuff happen. Might be a good question to put that. Again, if you're new here, appreciate you joining us tonight. We're trying to do more of these things so we get a better way to connect with people in the chat. And I know this is going to be a grind, right? We're in it for a multi-year grind, like 3, 4, 5 years before we want to see that big sort of like this transform from a small channel to a big channel. We'll roll the punches on the way. But we're in that grassroots, beginning where it's important just to kind of see what we can do, what we can build together, and have actually like a community rather than people coming in after the fact and want to say, "Oh, I was with you. I was day one." Nah. So listen, I've got 2 more videos. One of them is for someone like those that have an EV, right? There's a woman. She was saying that her and a guy, they're tussling about a charger. They're going back and forth. And it's kind of like, yo, do you want to actually fight with a man? I don't know. I said this on a live yesterday. We've gotten to the point where it make it seem like, yo, you're really okay with fighting a man, right? And I think even in the video, she says, yo, do I think I could have whooped him? No, but you fought him like it was gravy, like it was cool. You went back and forth with someone like, yo, I don't care, win, lose, or draw, right? And I think that's actually concerning. Look, that's actually 50-50, 4 votes. Love to know why some of you guys think that is, but we'll start up. An EV charger. Oh yeah, we'll do a little something from each one. But let's take a look at this one.
Parking Wars Part 3. So what you see here going on is me and a gentleman tussling over a charger that's plugged into my car. What happened was I had been sitting waiting for about an hour, and there's a few other cars waiting as well. And he swooped up into a parking spot and decided to plug up his car. But I had been waiting and I was going to, but he did it so fast. So I went and I unplugged his car and I plugged up mine. So he walked over to my door and said, "Did you unplug my car?" And I said, "Yes." And normally,
isn't that wild? You just going and like, I'm just gonna unplug your ish and I'm gonna keep it pushing. Nah, that's not okay. Right? That's not okay. And if you don't have an EV, if you don't, just think about it. If you were at a gas station and it was the only pump there, and someone came up and took the pump right out your car and put it in theirs and looked you dead in the face and said, I was here first.
I never touch anyone's car who's plugged up. Hence is why I have been waiting there so long. I just think it's disrespectful. So he walks into the car, he asks me, I say yes, and he goes, "Why?" I said, "Sir, I have been sitting here, a while." He goes, "Prove it." And I said, "No, I'm letting you know I've been here." And that, he didn't like that. And then he's got kind of like macho and talking mess or whatever. So I roll up the window. So he then said, I hear him say like, "Oh, I'm gonna go unplug it." So, no, you're not. So I went and I had grabbed my charger, put my hand on the charger, and then you see kind of like us tussling, going back and forth. And I'm gonna stand my ground regardless. And do I think I would have whipped this man's ass? Absolutely not. But it wouldn't have been no easy. It wouldn't have been no easy one.
I think this is absolutely nuts. And also, if you don't have an EV, they lock. Right? When you plug your charger in and you lock your car, it locks the EV charger, the plug in there. Pulling it out is not just a simple thing like you can just unplug it. So I don't know why this entire tussling, this entire fight was necessary at all. But the point is, like, in terms of just straight up just courtesy, Right? What are we doing? Right? Where we think this is a good idea. This back and forth nonsense. You can't whip a man. Can't whip a man. We just covered that whole Larry Wheels thing, slapping Dean the Great like in the face, a trained UFC fighter and just a bigger man. Weight classes exist for a reason. Like it's not a simple thing just to overcome something like that. And then when you get the differences between men and women, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Especially as more and more people seem to be more and more unhinged today. It's not worth it. It's just not. Like, leave it alone, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ain't no way. And she's super. And the concerning thing, she's proud about it. You're proud about it that you're going back and forth with a man over a charger like that. I would be disgusted. I'd be like, no, this is. I wish I was doing something better, more productive with my time. But this is again, it's just when we just looking at it from 2026 perspective, this is just dangerous, right? People are completely unhinged today. This is dangerous. Why bother engaging in something like this? Just leave it alone, keep it pushing, right? Oh, hey guy, man, I was here for a little bit. I forgot. I dozed off. Dozed off. Yeah, but I need that so I can just go about my day. That probably would have won you the day instead of I unplugged it. I was the instigator. I was the aggressor. And then I'm now shocked. I'm shocked that he now, is fighting back. He now is upset with my behavior. How could he? He kind of had that. He kind of had that coming. He kind of had that coming. Now, yes, him tussling back and forth at you, him pushing and pulling on you. Yeah, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. Right? But that's because how we have our society set up. Like, yo, pointing fingers that you can't do this. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. At a certain point, we have to understand this younger generation coming up. They don't mind scrapping with you. They believe wholeheartedly in quality more so than we did. They're fine doing that, and it would be better, Yeah, exactly. Listen, she even went in to take the footage from a car. I'm assuming it's a Tesla. Let me record this. Let me have this back and forth. She narrated a part of it. We're saying how the thing started. But if you're talking about just straight up etiquette, yeah, he got there, right? He pulled up. You were probably scrolling on your phone, chilling, doing whatever, looking at TikToks, and he came and plugged up, thinking it was fine, it was free, and then you came and unplugged it. Etiquette wise, he's in the right. He's just in the right. There's very little wiggle room here. Outside of just now, you want to fight with him and get upset that he's not kind of rolling over. He's not rolling over. But listen, we got one more, and then again, I want to keep people up too late because I myself, I know I got a little more work to do before I go to sleep. But there's a big story going on in Ghana about a Russian individual who went there and just he's picking up ladies. He's taking them back to the spot, and he's sleeping with them, and he's recording it, and he put it behind a paywall, but he put it out there, right? Yeah. Listen, I'll get back to you, and then we'll link up, and I'll catch you. I'll let you know when I'm doing a stream, so you can be part of it from the very beginning. But I appreciate you subbing to the channel. If you're new here, like the stream, sub, and we'll try to do things where it's more equitable, where people have more time to actually enjoy. But these back and forth, these interactions, this is what we live for.
A Russian man is wanted by the Ghanaian authorities for secretly recording hundreds of women in West Africa without their consent using meta glasses and uploading their videos to various digital streaming platforms. Here is what we know about this developing story. These videos were then uploaded to his social media accounts where he published all his victims' faces and identities without their consent. In Kenya, he went as far as approaching women in churches. Under Ghana's Cybersecurity Act of 2020, anyone who publishes explicit images of children or adults without their full consent can face up to 25 years in prison.
What the Cybersecurity Authority is interested in, and my ministry is interested in, is in the non-consensual sharing of the videos that were posted online. That is a crime. Now, you don't just record it, but you go and post it on a website for financial gain. That gentleman will be looked for, We will activate every resource in our disposal, working with Interpol. The way we've worked with Interpol to extradite Ghanaians to other jurisdictions, we will request the Russian authorities, and that's why I've invited a Russian ambassador, to work with our law enforcement. We want the gentleman to come to Ghana, to be brought back to Ghana, extradited to Ghana, for him to face the rigors of our law.
Yeah, so this is multifaceted. I appreciate you staying, because this one's wild. You had a lot of women coming forward, understanding that they were with this guy already, and they wanted to jump the gun. They wanted to let their people know, yeah, I was with him. I'm on the tapes. Mine hasn't released yet, but I'm on there. They're trying to do PR damage control before the fact, before the thing goes bad. What people were saying in a broader sort of colorist sort of sense is, why is this white man in Ghana having such an easy time? And he shows it on a couple of different streams. Him going up to mall, talking to a woman, and just saying something like that. I want to tell you, he's not spitting game. He's just talking. He's just like, yeah, what are you doing? That's what I do. Hey, come with me. That's it. It's the most mediocre game you've ever seen in your life. But he's got 500 different women. That I've heard numbers like that. And he's just saying it, and people are highlighting, saying, this is the effect of colorism, how easy it is for a white man just in Africa to be like, yo, come on, let's sleep together. And then using the meta glasses, the Google Lens, something, and just recording it, and then throwing it up on like a Patreon type of site where people are on there and they're viewing this. And then when you're seeing the women that he's picking up, they're average, everyday looking Ghanaian women. Like, there's a woman in church he picks up. There's a woman just grabbing groceries. Right? It's not the best of the best, but I think that a lot of people felt more probably bothered by it. Like, yo, that could be my aunt, that could be my sister. And they're looking at it, and men are saying, why is he having such an easy time? Right? Other men in Ghana are like, yo, why is it so easy for you? Why is that a thing? And then there's also that Schadenfreude where people are like, that's what you get. Right? That's what you get. With the larger context, the larger issue, people are saying, why is it so easy? Why do we give other races, right? And I'm trying to generalize here. Why do you give other races such easy pass, right? Yeah. Why do we give other people, I appreciate you, man. Why do we give other people such a pass? Other races, we give a pass into us. Where we look at, say, black on black community, where you have to be the epitome, right? Where we get to the point where we're fine making it seem as if your accomplishments, your laudable accomplishments as a black man, mean nothing. They're just average things that an average woman can do. But when you see like a regular white man, a white man comes and he just has whack jokes, and you're like, oh my God, that's so funny. We give other races a pass. Why? Why are we so hard within our own like culture and our own race? We make it seem impossible for us to congratulate one another when they're doing well. I've seen it so many times in my own life. When you're doing well as a black man, and other people, the first thing they want to tell you is something that you're doing won't work. Hey, I want to put this idea together. I want to create this YouTube channel. I want to do this. Yeah, man, it's not going to work. Oh, could you tell me why? Do you have experience in YouTube? Do you have experience in this? Why? What should I look at? Oh, and I've never done it. I've never done it. It's not going to work for you. This is the default sort of setting we have with one another, rather than saying, yo, now listen, you're not late. No, I appreciate you just, stopping by. Again, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to grow this channel, trying to grow this space. That's why we're here on YouTube, create this community. But we see this in so many, other communities. We look at it and we just say, yo, it's an easy thing. It's fine. It's fine. This other person, this other race, we give them a pass. And we do it. We make fun of it all the time. We're talking about snow bunnies. You get a pass. You get a pass. Right? We don't hold them to the same sort of, stringent categories, the stringent standards that we seem to mean just like it's for the regular people. Let's be fair, right? this is happening, and I've covered so many different content creators, different women uploading stuff, basically saying, "Yo, after these black dudes, I'm gonna go get a white dude." I had one video up where it was a white woman talking about, yeah, a white man made me a baby daddy, made me a baby mama. And in the comments, in my own comments, people are like, yo, they do that? And it's like, yo, this is the type of brain, the brainwashing that we have going on. I don't want to say it's the CIA, because I think the CIA is having a fantastic run. You don't have to do a lot of this work anymore. It does not matter race wise. All like, you can find dogs in every race, right? Every race. There's plenty breeds of dogs, right? There's plenty of men that are gonna leave you high and dry. It's like, oh shit. But when you give other races a pass, and I had a video where a white dude was saying, "No, don't date us for status." He's like, "I'm broke." Right? The amount of women in my DMs, he said, is concerning. The amount of black women in my DMs is concerning. We think that white men basically are the Messiah, the great white hope. And out here, he's just having the time of his life in Ghana. He's running through aunts and aunties, right? He's running through them. I know I can't, check it while I'm, doing the live. But give me a couple minutes, and then I'll end this pretty soon, because again, we all got jobs. We all got to get up early in the morning. But yeah, like I said, I got you. Don't worry about you. Yeah. So this guy's running through women in Ghana, and then absconded from the country, and they're trying to beg Russia, yo, can you send him back? Yeah, Russia's not going to do that. Russia's not going to do it. They say cybersecurity laws. Yo, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. But this man, he made off with the bag, and it's a cultural issue. It's a cultural issue. And all that's going to happen is you're going to get more people that show up and do the very same thing. They're going to come in there and say, yo, if this is what it is, it's so easy here to do it. I'm going to show up and do it. All I have to do is have the requisite color. I'm in there. Easy street. Easy street. And we should probably be looking and understanding a little bit more about our culture, saying maybe we should be kind of more cognizant about how we're moving, about what's important to us, how we kind of value each other. But the way we're doing it right now, all you have to be is of another race. Go to a place where you're not plentiful, and it seems like the game is just easy mode. I mean, for him doing all that, I still have not heard people attach the moniker of passport broding. We give a lot of different races passes when it comes to the black community. We should kind of hold each other the same standard. But again, maybe if tomorrow's Friday, if I have some time early in the day, I'll probably see if I can do another live, something impromptu, just see, a little heat check to see where people are. When I put up a poll of when we could do the live show, what's better for people currently, if you could go to Community Post, and cast your vote there. Let me know which day is better. They've been done like midweek, like Wednesday nights, 7 Central. But some people right now I think the lead vote is Friday. I figure people want to go out and get drunk on Friday rather than be on YouTube. So, but again, we're gonna go with what the people decide, what the data decides. But until then, like most of these streams, I usually end. I'll